This is Black Silk, and it's been a while since I made a video. As usual, this is a video that I promised you all that I would make, but it's been a few months, and the reason being is because as months had progressed, more and more things are happening, and I was thinking like, okay, so do I wait until this is over before I do this vlog, or, you know, but I think I waited long enough. I did say I was going to do it as soon as I moved. Mostly through my posts, not through YouTube. So if you follow my social media on Facebook or Instagram, you probably saw those posts. And you probably saw my recent post where I talked about possibly, you know, just taking time for myself and not posting unless I really wanted to. And I was satisfied with just taking selfies sometimes, posting a video here and there. Not really doing photo shoots. I don't consider myself just a model anymore, so I do a variety of things. I do more than just the modeling part. So that's pretty much how things have been. So this video, the title is most likely going to be fake family, and that's going to be the center theme, but not the only theme. And I'm going to try not to make the video as long as my other vlog, which was like almost 20 minutes or 15, something like that. I can't remember. I did that back in the beginning of 2018, I believe, and I don't think I did it in 2019, but I'm pretty sure it's 2018. And I was talking about fake friends, and at the time, from that time up until this point, or before I moved here rather, I had a lot to say about fake family, but I didn't feel safe enough to actually talk about those things. And I'm not saying unsafe as like, you know, my life was in danger, but my current circumstances would have probably been affected in a negative way. So there's time and place to talk about certain things, and this is the time, this is the place finally. I'm not going to go super into detail because there are people who I'm going to mention who do want to cause problems in my life, though they have very little influence at this point. But I'm just someone who just kind of gives the general thing, not all the dirty details. Unless that becomes an issue, then I will absolutely go into that. But usually I make separate videos for that. So anyway, I would ask you guys good news or bad news first, but of course I can't ask you. Me personally, I like to have the bad news first and then the good news, because it's something negative leading to something positive. Okay, so bad news. Throughout the last year, let's just say since I made the video, the last vlog I made, a lot has changed. A lot has changed, like so much. And I'm not talking about just with the world today, which I would get to. I've always been a firm believer that family is more than blood. I've considered friends my family because they've been there for me through rough times, and it's not always positive. Sometimes they're there to give you advice and tell you like it is, and I consider those people family. My kids are my family, obviously, and I consider them family. There are certain members of my family that I do consider family. But what I'm going to focus on right now aren't those members. And when I talk about family, I'm not talking about just my biological family. I'm talking about family that involves my kids as well, because they consider them family. So the main thing here is the narcissist that I've dealt with for a majority of my life. And that narcissist is my mother. Yeah. If you're someone who defends, you know, mothers that are even horrible mothers who are like, oh, you only have one mother, so you should, you know, appreciate them, or you only, no, I don't do that. If you have an abusive family member, regardless of who it is, you are in no way obligated to have that person in your life. You are in no way obligated to accept their abuse. I don't care if it's your sister, brother, cousin, mother, father, you are in no way obligated to accept that, like, at all. And growing up, I was basically told that, oh, that's just the way she is. Oh, you should appreciate her. I'm not saying she didn't do anything for me. She did do things for me. But you got to understand narcissism. It's not about what they do. It's what they do, how they treat you, and the motive behind what they do for you. If they do something good for you, there's a motive behind it. It's never out of the kindness of their heart, and you might say that, but it's never out of the kindness of their heart. There's always a motivation behind it. And if it doesn't show itself immediately, it will show itself eventually. So I think this video is also to bring awareness for narcissism. If you don't know what narcissism is, definitely look it up, definitely research it. I feel like it's not talked about enough. It is now than it used to be. I think more psychologists and psychiatrists should definitely study more into it. And I did talk to someone recently who had knowledge of narcissism. And that's good that it's progressing, but it's not enough, because a lot of psychologists that I've talked to personally did not know what narcissism was. But it's something that's been going on for a very long time, probably longer than we think. So when I say narcissism, I'm just going to give a brief definition, because this isn't a video about narcissism. It's not about vanity. Vanity is something else. Anybody can have, that could fall under anything. Vanity can fall under anything. Vanity is a part of narcissism. That's one trait that they have, but not always. So there are covert and overt narcissists. Covert are the ones that are really sneaky, and you can't tell that they are immediately. And overt is usually the ones that you can tell immediately that they're the person. Narcissists are usually very charming. They want to be likable. It's all an act. It's all a facade. They do that to get people to like them. They get people on their side. So when they do attack their victims, it could be family, anybody that they have on their side. So they can have those people, when they say, oh, they're hurting me, I'm the victim, when they're actually making someone else the victim. So they'll cry victim really bad and have these people who think they're charming, wonderful person defending them and enabling their narcissism. And that's quite a bit of what I have to talk about in this video. So narcissists basically lack empathy for anything. They only care about themselves, and even then they barely care about themselves. They're highly insecure. There's a lot of things with them that leads to narcissism. A lot of narcissists will never admit that they're narcissists, and a lot of narcissists won't even think to wonder if they're narcissists. And narcissists really like to go after empaths. They are very attracted to them. It's something they lack, because empaths have empathy, and instead of trying to learn it for themselves, they try to leech off of other people, that energy, and they suck it away. And you can see people, victims of narcissism, how different they are once they're with a narcissist, before a narcissist and after a narcissist. It's like they've been drained, you know. They're energy vampires. A lot of them are abusive emotionally and mentally and physically. I've talked to quite a few victims throughout the year, and you see a lot of similar traits. They're all very much alike. So with that said, this is someone that I had went to for help. Not originally, because I have a bad history with her. I don't like her narcissism, but because I was in a situation, which I mentioned in my other vlog, I ended up going to her and my family for help, because I was stuck in a situation. And I'm not saying that I played victim, but I was in a really tight situation, and I'm gonna get more into that, because I'm not gonna play victim with this. And basically it starts how it usually was. They offer help, say, yeah, I'll help, and this and that, and then it starts to get to a point where they're insulting me for doing bad, and because I reached a low point because I made a mistake. And this is something that's gone through most of my life, and I didn't realize it until I got friends who didn't do this to me. Is that whenever I made a mistake, whenever I did something bad, I was always a bad person because of it. It's never, hey, you made a mistake, pick yourself back up again, come on, work harder, I believe in you, I love you, anything like that. No sincerity like that ever with me, with these people. So the core people that I'm talking about is the narcissist mother. I call her Narc because I couldn't call her mother. She's not a mother to me. And I had the half sisters that a couple of them lived with her, and then there was one that didn't live with her. It was kind of like back and forth. Now, my situation was never going to be permanent. I mean, we've all fallen on hard times at some point in life, and it's natural, and anybody who puts you down for it, especially if you're trying your hardest, is pretty much a trash person. And so that's pretty much what it was. The whole situation that I explained, where there's a narcissist, which is her, and anytime that I stood up for myself, it was, oh, you're horrible this, I've been called the evil witch, I've been called a horrible mother multiple times. She's tried to get my kids taken away. Yeah, I said it. She's tried to do that. My kids absolutely love me. We're very close with each other. I have 2 older kids who are preteens, and I have a toddler, and we're close. And we are much happier now, and I can totally see the difference with them. They didn't like being near her, be near that negativity. Now, I'm not saying there weren't good times, because there are going to be good times. A narcissist can't have everything being bad all the time. But I was one of the only people who saw through that bullshit. And there were times where there's love bombing, like gift giving. You know, that's a part of narcissism too. They do it, try to make it seem like they're sincere. They've made amends, and there's always a motive behind it. As soon as she did that, and if I accepted it, there would be a favor asked afterwards, or I would have to. She'd ask me to do something that I knew I wouldn't do, because I'm not going to compromise who I am to do her dirty work, pretty much. So basically, my situation there was equivalent to Cinderella, like the evil stepmother and the half sisters or 2 sisters or whatever. Except she was not a stepmother, and those were half sisters that I had to deal with. And I wasn't cleaning their crap all the time, being hidden from Prince Charming, because Prince Charming is bullshit. Let's be real here. So yeah, that was pretty much my situation. It escalated, it got worse. She kept trying her hardest. I had to get the law involved more than once, because that's the level of harassment I was dealing with. And it's like, when I tried to be quiet or keep to myself, which is mostly what I had to do, because I was trying my best to keep things from being like too much conflict, it didn't work. Eventually, me walking away was me ignoring her, or I never listened to her, or some kind of bullshit like that. So when I did speak my mind, she wanted it to be a yelling match, which sometimes at the beginning that happened. Rarely, but it did happen. I'm not going to sugarcoat what I did or didn't do, but that's pretty much what it was. And I don't like being that person. I don't like expelling that negative energy. I don't like that surrounding, so I often would try to remove myself, go somewhere else, but I always had to come back there, and it was just like so negative. And then she would go and tell people that I was basically a nobody, that I wasn't doing anything, how horrible I was, such a horrible daughter who hated her, blah, blah, blah. But I did not show any signs of hatred. I didn't go out of my way to show hatred or cause issues. I tried to keep to myself, save my money, get the heck out of there, and keep my business private. That's all I was trying to do. And that was the total opposite of what she was telling people. And she also got an ex-narc of mine. She's actually in contact with 2 of my abusers. So this is telling you what type of person I'm dealing with. And the fact that it's a mother, it makes it much worse. She's in contact with 2 of my abusers. She would tell them stuff. And one of my abusers, that I'm sort of dealing with now, which is my ex-baby daddy, my last one. So she would report to him like things that were false, and he's gonna eat it up. He's gonna eat it up because he hates me being happy. He hates it so much. He's a very miserable person as well, but I hate to say it, but he's not. He's more of an overt narcissist, and he's considered family directly through my son, because that's his dad, so that counts as family. Those two hate each other. I'm just gonna say it now. They absolutely cannot stand each other. She still talks about him to this day. I don't believe he knows that, but if he has people stalking my videos, which he typically does, he probably is gonna know it now. Like, she's still obsessed with him. And it's odd that I'm saying that, but to basically explain it, was when I was pregnant, when I was doing my pregnancy vlogs, which you can see in my other videos. I'm unsure if I mentioned this or not because of the situation I was in, and I had bigger pressing problems. She basically tried to seduce him, and I'm not going to go into detail, and he refused, and then those two got into an argument because she didn't like being rejected, and he didn't like her attitude, and they clashed. And she's really obsessed about that, and I was pregnant during that time, and yeah, so I'm saying all these things about this person who's supposed to be like the person who birthed me into the world, but she was basically just a baby factory, because that's not a mother. There are mothers out there who are bad. So anyway, that was the censor thing around my last year that I had to deal with, was her. Again, not going super into details. I did have people that supported me, and I'm very, very grateful for those people that I talked to, and not just people that I've known for a long time, like acquaintances who also dealt with narcissist abuse. And I honestly didn't think I was going to make it through that. It was so bad. Like, I had times where it was just like so bad. Like, I was like, how am I going to get out of the situation? Like, I can't do anything right. And she really made it that way, but I knew it wasn't me. So during that time, though, on the more positive side, I found things that were good for me. I joined a gym, which is good. I love going to the gym. It's shut down now, but or actually it might be open, but not many people are going. The hours are really narrow. I found myself more. I refused to let the negativity get to me. I was more attuned to my spiritual side, because that's all I really had, you know. Dealing with an insane, unstable environment like that, and you would never think that from the outside looking in, that things were that horrible, because on the outside things look picture perfect, but going on behind closed doors, you have this really horrible person. I used to say she was equivalent to a female Trump, because that's pretty much her personality, was exactly like Trump. Yeah, so basically if you support Trump, there's a big fuck you right now in the most rudest way possible. So anyway, that's pretty much what I was dealing with. I don't think I mentioned this, but there were a couple of funny things that happened dealing with her. She tried to exorcise me like they do in the movies, because I was possessed or whatever, and I laughed during that time, because that was ridiculous. She literally just like tried to get the demon out of me, throwing oil, whatever. And there was another time where I rescued an animal that she trapped on Halloween, just to save his life, and I was doing demonic things with it. Like, really, I love nature, innocent animals, and you're more inhumane than I am by having a sticky trap. It was just really sticky traps, and letting it basically just die in fear like that, you know. If I were to trap an animal like that, I'd have a more humane trap and then release it later, you know. I rescued a couple of lizards. I did make a video about that last summer, in those traps, and it was a pain in the ass to get them out, but yeah, I feel sorry for any other little critters that get caught there, or anything that gets in the vicinity of that place that she lives, because it's nothing but negative vibes to that place. Like, at my place, I can cleanse and clear out that energy, block it, protect everybody better, you know, witchy stuff, but that place was really tough, you know. That's why I left that place so much. On a kind of positive / negative side of the family part, I did actually reconnect with family on my dad's side. A few people already know this part about me, that I have not been in contact with my dad like a majority of my life, and last time I probably even saw him was when I can't even remember. So it was a big shock for him. I reconnected with my half-sister on that side first, which was, she was pretty much not interested really in talking to me that much. Like, she barely made an effort, so it's whatever. Don't hate her. It's just kind of like I kind of dropped in their life again. So and on my dad's side, I talked to him. He is a very creative soul like me, and I can tell he suffered from the hand of narcissist abuse as well, which is crazy and not crazy, but like, I empathize with him with that, and I feel bad that he had to deal with that, but he's away from her. So the reason, like, a majority of my family, especially my narcissist mother, didn't talk to me about him or let me connect to him or whatsoever, is because she didn't want me to know the truth of what she did to him with her abuse. She cheated on him with a guy she worked with that she later married, and I called him my dad. That's some twisted, fucked up shit. Not saying that my stepdad was a bad person. He got away from her too, because he eventually saw through her bullshit. I think they're on civil terms now, whatever, I don't care. But that was really fucked up, you know. But what went around came around, so it's gonna keep happening. And the thing is, these people don't learn, no matter how much they have to go through this stuff. Even if karma comes back and bites them in the ass, which it has, and it's going to continue to keep doing it, they still don't learn, and they blame everyone else for it. It's everyone else's fault. Like with her utilities and everything, we barely used any. We used like a little section of it, like a tiny section of it in her home, and we didn't really go anywhere else. And she blamed us for all her bills. But I have my own place, and we use way more utilities than we did there. And it's all affordable, and it's not ridiculous like the way she was making it sound like. So that goes to show, everything I've said goes to show what I've been basically dealing with the past year. And it's for the narcissist ex that she can't stand. He's basically tormenting somebody else. That's all I'm going to say. She married that dude. I feel sorry for her. She absolutely hates me. I really don't give a damn. A lot of it's stuff that he fed her and just plain jealousy, and I think it's hilarious. Not the abuse part. I thought she would have wised up to it by now, but it popped out 2 more kids, which is like, okay. Immediately after, he basically tried to rebound with her, but I'm not gonna go into that right now. That's none of my business. I'm glad I'm not in that situation, but when he tries to get involved in my life with his abuse again, or which he's trying to do right now, I'm not gonna go into that either, but he's not something I'm worried about. I'm not worried about that person. Okay, so that's towards the latter part of my year. That's not something I'm concerned about right now. So on to the more positive things. So I mentioned this briefly before, but more positive things that have happened was me joining the gym, which had just reopened. Not going there because the pandemic is still very real here and it's not gotten better, and we're looking at a second outbreak. So I'm not doing that for safety reasons. But as far as my health, I did pick up a bit of weight, a bit of pandemic weight. I've made posts about that, so it's nothing new. And I'm mostly just working out at home and building up my little mini gym, which is another slow process. And the biggest great news of all is that I got my own place. A lot of mental work, emotional and physical work to get to where I am, but I'm glad that I'm here. I'm slowly getting my place together the way that I like, not worrying about anybody's abuse or telling me that I can or can't do something, or trying to blend my things with theirs. It's just all what I like. And my kids have their own space to put what they like, you know, without being judged or anything like that. Because I'm someone who has a love for open expression, so I do encourage that with them. And also, good news, I have picked up guitar, and I do not know how to play anything yet, but I'm practicing. This is one project that I'm willing to share with every one of you, and the rest of them you're gonna have to wait and see, because with everything going on in the world, I don't know. No one can really plan anything nowadays because things have not gotten better. So the only positive thing is that I get to order things now, like order groceries from my bedroom. I wasn't able to do that before, and I order a lot of things for myself and my family, which is convenience. And we do like this place. It's quiet, good neighbors so far, you know, pretty welcoming, and no one's like in your face or stuck up, you know, like where I used to live with where the narcissist lived. So except one person who was nice to me there, and she was a person of color, she's Asian. So that's about it. So yes, I did not want this video to be any shade. It's supposed to be all tea, no shade, but you know, shit happens. I wanted to briefly talk about what's going on in the world right now, because this isn't something I plan to have in my blog, but it's in it. So it's going on right now as I speak. So first, with the pandemic, I don't think people are taking that very seriously. They're saying it's not real, and there are people around here who aren't taking it seriously. And I haven't seen anybody openly start complaining about masks, but I'm seeing it on like social media, and a lot of these people are mad that they still have to wear masks, or required to wear masks to protect themselves and others. And no, masks aren't 100% proof, you know, virus proof, but they are helping prevent the spread. And it seems like since people are not required to wear them, that they're not going to wear them. So, and then there are people who actually care about not spreading it, which is me and my family, and I try to do what I can to help prevent the spread of it, but a lot of people aren't doing it. It's making it more dangerous for everyone else, and that's why they're talking about a second wave. So this isn't good news, obviously. A lot of kids are going to be still homeschooled throughout this, looking like for the end of the year at least, probably going into next year. And I mean, it's like a lot of them are like, yeah, you get to stay home, but a lot of people can't see their friends. People are still doing it anyway. I mean, people are tired of waiting. They're tired of being at home. They're tired of, you know, not going out and doing whatever. As an introvert, this doesn't bother us because we're used to this life. So I'm okay with it, as well as other introverts. But a lot of people don't like it, and we have to work together to get rid of it. So hopefully this is over by next year, and hopefully by my next vlog things have gotten better. As far as social things and politics, I'm not going to go too much into it, but I will say this: Black Lives Matter. And yes, we all know all lives matter, that everyone matters. I know some people who are edgy said no lives matter, but everyone knows all lives matter, but they can't matter if Black lives don't matter. So that's just what I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to make a whole video about that part. That's my stance on it. And if you guys would like to have me cover more topics like the narcissism, because I can go into, that's a whole video in itself, or what's going on, the government, social issues, please let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching my video for this long. I try to crunch everything into a smaller time frame, even though this video still might be somewhat long. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos, and let me know what you would like to see in my next video.